Hi, I'm Lindsay. Thanks for joining me here on the beautiful east coast of Canada, in my home of Nova Scotia. I'm a mental health counselor, mindfulness and meditation instructor, and founder of the Meditation for Change project. I'm here to tell you about what inspires my work and how we can come together through meditation to support the basic needs of women in developing nations, at the same time as shifting our global mindset. On my channel, you will find my collection of guided meditations as dedicated to a group of disadvantaged women in rural Tanzania. Following each practice, I ask that you make a small donation to help support my work and to provide education, training, and small business startups for the women. By contributing pocket change in exchange for guided meditation, we might create greater change around the globe. In 2011, while between my postgraduate and master's studies in psychology, I traveled to Tanzania to work with young women in the field of mental health care. When I arrived in Africa, however, I learned that the program had fallen through as many of the girls had dropped out and were living on the streets. I started from scratch looking for work and soon found, while many women were struggling with mental health concerns, their biggest challenge was their inability to financially support themselves or their children. So, my efforts went into fundraising for small business startups and a chicken co-op to help support their basic needs. When I returned to Tanzania 8 years later, I saw an incredible transformation. Not only did many of the women experience improvements in their mental health, but a number had recovered from physical health conditions as well. As such, they expressed wishes to grow their businesses and empower more women like themselves. Before long, I found myself teaching the women how to meditate, and I was pleasantly surprised by what I found. Their positive responses to the practice inspired the idea behind meditation for change. By providing the ladies with meditation training, I could help them relieve stress around running a business. At the same time, I could help them gain clarity around developing socially responsible initiatives. On the other hand, by sharing meditation practices across developed nations, I could raise enough money to cover the expense of educating the women for successful business growth. And funds could be mobilized to support training and startups for a growing number of women. In partnering with various women's groups in Tanzania, this is made possible through a community bank program. Mindfulness and meditation have been a part of my life since 2006 when I began studies in Buddhism, psychology, and mental health at the University of Toronto. On a personal level, the practice has helped me get in touch with my values, as well as a sense of intuition that's been profound in terms of guiding many of my life decisions. It wasn't until I got away from my practice that I truly understood the power of meditation. After a period of time of not listening to what I knew to be best, I found myself in an immigration struggle while living overseas in Denmark. With the newly elected anti-immigration government in power in 2014, I was faced with a fight to remain in the country to be with my Danish partner. I experienced loss of work for nearly 2 years while in limbo, and I was hit hard by alienation, isolation, and lack of purpose during this time. Eventually, when my application was rejected, I was forced to leave the country, and my relationship came to an end. The mental and physical toll was devastating. Not only did returning to my practice help me by giving clarity around the best path forward, but it shed light on some of the problems that I believe our world is facing today. It is these concerns that I hope to address through meditation for a change. The United Nations estimates that approximately 1 in 4 people across the globe will experience a mental health problem at some point in their lifetime. I believe that getting away from our personal value system is a large contributor to this concern. It is also my belief that turning inwards through meditation can help us connect once again to the things that matter the most. As such, our decisions might be guided in a way that we find ourselves in health-promoting circumstances wherever we can. A According to the Canadian Mental Health Association, lack of paid employment can have such detrimental psychosocial effects that they recognize access to meaningful work as a basic human right. In Tanzania, the United Nations estimates the average school life expectancy is just shy of 8 years. As a result, a number of people simply don't have the education to secure paid employment. Upon visiting Tanzania for the first time, I saw firsthand the effect that lack of paid employment had on the women. When I experienced unemployment myself while waiting for the Danish government's decision, I truly came to understand what this felt like. With a portion of proceeds going towards entrepreneurial skills training and small business startups, I hope to give disadvantaged women opportunities that they might not otherwise have. Through the implementation of a microloan program, the women will pay the help forward to support even more women. This will give them a greater sense of purpose and meaning in their lives. As a growing number of people are now facing the devastating consequences of social isolation, I feel that we need more opportunities than ever to connect with one another. This problem of disconnect is so widespread that in 2018, the UK appointed a loneliness minister to help the nearly 1/5 of British adults that are currently facing loneliness. Researchers have linked loneliness to increased rates of anxiety, depression, and irritability, as well as to a number of physical health problems. In Tanzania, one of the problems that I perceive among women is a deep sense of alienation, a feeling that I came to know all too well in Denmark. It is my hope that by introducing the ladies to group meditation and encouraging a pay-it-forward program, they can continually connect with one another. Likewise, with hopes of inspiring meditation groups around the globe, I hope to cultivate a more connected and compassionate mindset. As such, I invite you to practice together with your friends and family. The way I see it, I have two options in response to my experiences. On one hand, I could react with anger and hate. However, to me, this creates a world that's more divided. On the other hand, and the way I prefer to respond, is to use my energy to create positive change. Instead of complaining about what's wrong, I believe in focusing on what can be done to make things better. It's my hope that others will join me on this journey. If you like my video, please share it to help spread the word about my cause. Your support can make a world of difference to the women of Tanzania, and it would mean the world to me.